Hi there. The week this video was taken, on the Monday afternoon, I had got out of hospital in Brisbane where I had a squash stent and I had to have emergency surgery to reline the stent so I could breathe and that blood could get through to my face because it was terribly swollen. I'll leave the link for that at the end if you want to check out my previous vlog where all of that happened. It's fairly dramatic. And I got out of hospital on the Monday. By the Wednesday, I was having trouble breathing and I couldn't get through a full sentence without having to stop and draw breath. So Wednesday morning, I went back up to ED, which is where this video starts. Off to the emergency room again. Just a little bit of trouble breathing and we'll see how we go.
Just got to keep on top of it.
Yeah. Oops. So an ED visit, which has ended up with me being admitted, which I don't think has happened before with emergency. One little side note, I was admitted to the hospital from that ED visit when I had come and said I had trouble breathing, even though I had had a scan on the Friday. They needed to find out why I was having trouble breathing, so I had to go up for another scan. And this was a private ED once again. So in Australia, the public healthcare is all completely free. Private healthcare often has a gap where you have to pay and then your private will pay everything else. And the care is often faster, not necessarily better, but sometimes you can get better doctors. But there are a lot of really good doctors in the public system. And for instance, my private oncologist also works in the public system. But what does happen with private ED is if you get admitted, you then don't have to pay for all the scan. That just comes under your hospital bill, and I've already paid an excess for hospitals. So when I got admitted, I was like, yay, I'm not going to have to pay for my blood tests and my x-rays and all the rest of it, which is quite a gap, in fact, like a few $100s. Anyway, I got home and I got bills, and that is because I didn't get admitted into the hospital where the ED was, because my doctor, my private doctor, is at a different private hospital. So the healthcare has, of course, got a loophole that you need to be admitted to the hospital where you went to the ED. So I got all the bills. So yeah, anyway, enough about that. So I got to drive myself across town. Thankfully didn't have to go in an ambulance this time. I also got bills for that time when I went to a different hospital. Yeah, so got Alex to drive me across to the hospital. Had dinner on the way because I didn't trust the hospital dinners to be all that lovely, but unfortunately chose something not very nice at a Vietnamese restaurant. So went back to the hospital and said, okay, I'll order dinner, and I had a sweet and sour chicken that was also not that great. The hospital that my doctor is at does not have the best meals, so I kind of wish that I was in the hospital where the ED is. My hospital doesn't even have an ED. So it's a bit of a shame because they have got good meals, but they've also got, you have to pay for parking there. So at least at my hospital, I don't have to pay for parking. But anyway, I'll show you some of the fairly ordinary meals at the hospital I stayed at. Okay, here is my breakfast. It's almost 8 o'clock and I've been awake since 4:30, so it feels terrible. Is that the most rubbery, pathetic looking egg you've ever seen? And then there's porridge, which I've just had a taste like one of the 3 bears. There's no honey on my porridge, and I just can't eat porridge without honey. So I've just, can you see there's a flashing light? I've just called a nurse, asked for honey, which I feel like a bit of a princess for doing that. I do have to note though, the meals were better at the private hospital, even though it was they were really ordinary, than the public hospital. They weren't that great as far as ranking meals goes. And I'm just walking along thinking of other things. I would love to know, those of you who go to hospital regularly, what are your experiences with hospital food? First night in hospital, St Andrews in Toowoomba. Good having my own room. At least that's a nice garden outside. Busy street. Oh, and I was going to draw your attention to the constant beeping, but of course it stopped as soon as I start videoing this, which might mean I have to keep videoing all the time. But I'm feeling a little bit down this morning, being in hospital again. And I rang my husband and got a little bit teary, talked to my daughter, got teary again. My kids aren't great with emotion, so that didn't really, it's not like she was there going, oh, don't worry, Mummy, it'll be okay. She wasn't that talkative. Yeah, but just really upset that I'm in hospital and that things keep going wrong. It's fine being in hospital if you know that you're here for a reason. It's all going to get fixed up and sorted out, and you'll be back on your way to living again. Just at the moment, it just doesn't feel like anything's that easy to just get fixed up. Doctor came in this morning at 6 a.m, which is fine because I was up, because at 4:30 a.m. I woke up from a beeping machine that wasn't plugged in and run out of battery. Never got back to sleep. And yeah, he said that it looks like a bit of my right lung has collapsed. I've got infection in my lung. My blood markers were down. They're going to be talking about me in a complex meeting case today. Yeah, and I'll be in hospital for at least a few days. And yeah, I just wish I knew what to do to stop all this. So anyway, to decide what I'm doing for the day, I've got my computer here, which I like doing photo books and things, but I don't have the charger. I had it plugged in the dining room, and Alex must have missed it when I said that the charger was in the dining room, because it's not in the pocket that it normally is. So I don't know if I can use that. I'm going to have to get more stuff, because I only threw stuff for overnight in my bag yesterday. But I was wondering if I might be able to ask if I can go home and pack my bag. I wonder if they'd let me out to do that. Some people I've been following that have been in hospital lately, and they just seem to walk out. When I was at the Mater, somebody just was walking down to South Bank. That was in the room next to me, and I'm like, whenever I'm in hospital, I just stay stuck in the room the whole time. And maybe I can be a bit more adventurous this time. Another fairly miserable meal, but at least there's a soft drink. Salad looks okay, and I have put a caramel tart in the fridge. It looks good. Emily's just had a kidney explode. Because Emily loves exploding kidneys.
I hate it, but I'm just good at games. So.
Okay, time.
Straight as go. How many was that? 2. Wait, was that 5?
Yeah.
No, that was 2.
No, plus that one.
No, they have to be unnamed cards.
No, you can do action cards.
No, you can't do action
yes,
cards. No, you can't.
Yes,
I'm serious. No, you look, I'll read the rules right here, right now. Look. Okay. If you play 5 any 5 cards that have different icons in the comma, with, without instructions, see?
With, without.
With or without?
No, with instructions, without instructions, yeah. Yeah.
With, without.
So he was right.
Yeah, no, yeah.
This one is without instructions. This one is with instructions. I've done it before with instructions.
What's it?
Breakfast definitely looks better this morning until I'm examining the egg, wondering whether it's going to be plasticky or not. But anyway, can't go wrong with a hollandaise. Don't know whether this is genius or just sad that hospital doesn't have sleeves to cover my PICC line, but it's the second time somebody has covered it. Instead of using just a plastic bag and tape, they've covered it using a vomit bag. This is my setup. As usual, I bring my own pillow. I love anti-write, so liking this book. My trusty, this is the antibiotic that I've been on a lot. This machine needs recalibrating and plays up sometimes. It's always a good day when you've got a fridge in your hospital room. It's just about packed, ready to go. My mother brought me some beautiful flowers, which is great. Also good when you've got a little bit of storage space. Oh, there. The bathroom. So, very grateful to have such a comfortable room. And last night they put a mattress topper on my bed, and it made it so much more comfortable. So yes, it's very pleasant. This is what I've been saying, that little thing that is the beeping you always hear behind me. I think, go, look, this poor lady, or man, I wouldn't have a clue who it is, has been waiting 6 minutes. I am going home from hospital. So this has been, what's it, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, 3 days, and I'm going home. And I've been very grateful to have a lovely garden. Actually, there's houses for me to keep watch on over the road. So here, people are going in and out of them. So yeah, it just makes a big difference having something nice to look at. One good thing about getting out of hospital by that day was we got to go and celebrate my parents' birthday the next day, because they have their birthdays a day apart. And so as an extended family, we went out to a little Japanese restaurant and had a lovely time together. So that's how I will end this video, and see you in the next one.